In this session, we still look at factoring problems. Last time we saw how to factor things like this: x squared plus 6x plus 5, and we had a question to ask ourselves: what were the factors of 5 that added together to give 6? And we know 5 is 5 times 1. At the same time, 5 plus 1 makes 6. We have x plus 1 as our first factor, and x plus 5 as our second factor. And if you wanted to check x squared plus 5x plus 1x plus 5, pairing up the first two terms, you can take out an x, and x plus 5 is left over. The second two terms, you can take out a 1, x plus 5 is left over, and then that binomial factor comes out, and we have the solution to the problem. We looked at factoring with the leading term was a 1. Let's take a look at another problem like this. X squared minus 3x minus 28. So the first step, remember, was looking at negative 28. Can you find the factors of negative 28 which combine together to give negative 3? And since this is a negative number, one of the factors has to be a positive and the other factor has to be a negative. So we have a positive number times a negative number is a negative. And now, since this is a negative number as well, that means the number that has greater magnitude has to be negative. 28 is 7 times 4. 28 is 14 times 2. And of course 28 times 1. And we are looking for the pair of numbers that are separated by 3 units, because one has to be a positive, one has to be a negative. They have to subtract to give negative 3. So the combination that we wanted to use was the 7 and 4 combination. And since the middle term is negative, we have to have a positive 4 and a negative 7 as our choices. And we can write down the answer now: x and then a plus 4 and an x minus a 7 as the solution. And if you wanted to check it, you go from x squared minus 3x minus 28 and you rewrite it as x squared minus 7x plus 4x minus 28. And if we pair up the first two terms, we can take out an x, and an x minus 7 is left over. Pairing up the second two terms, you can take out a 4, and an x minus 7 is left over. And then that binomial factor can come out, and we have the solution we had before. Let's look at one more example like that. X squared minus 7x plus 12. Well, this time, since we have a positive number, the two numbers have to have the same sign. And since the middle term is a negative, that means that the two numbers we're looking for must both be negative. And so we ask ourselves again, what are the factors of 12 that add together to give negative 7? And 12 is negative 4 times negative 3, and at the same time, negative 4 minus 3 makes negative 7. And so we had to have both of those things happening, and we know the solution to the problem would be x minus 4 and x minus 3.